every team probably you love would win. It would be just so much easier. But yeah, guys, in a perfect world, if only. Um, I actually want to start off this Mr. Exquisite Nugget midnight stream on a note where, yeah, it's pretty crazy how Jimmy Butler. I just looked up this news actually. Wow, it is a developing story. Excuse me, as we speak. Suspension. This is insane, man. So the Miami Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler following comments. So for 7 games, they are considering. It says here they will consider trade offers. This is just insane. Who knows, honestly, if it'll end up at the Clippers? It could be the Clippers, Milwaukee. It could be, who knows if it's the Thunder or some team who wants a veteran status for a player. But yeah, multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team over the course of the season, and particularly the last 7 weeks. This is a little shocking because I'm not saying it's shocking because I wouldn't expect the Heat to do this. It's because I think it's shocking how, well, wouldn't have happened so much sooner. I mean, I just hope that, some things just happen for a reason. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, anyways, guys, yeah, following that though, the Miami Heat probably are going to find themselves in a very drastic measure considering Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero have to both carry quite, I wouldn't say just a load, but it's like majority of the work now will fall on them. And seeing as to where if the Heat can manage, I just don't get it, man. A 7 game suspension, though, that's a little interesting and very specific. Just when you think about the fact that all he's done for them, or yeah, the fact that I would probably say Pat Riley is a shitty owner, or who knows, in charge, president, whatever you want to call him. But Pat Riley, I kind of blame this on him because if you're not going to surround him with talent, or if it's just a simple fact that he isn't happy, yeah, he's unhappy. He's, given all. He's been to the finals twice and lost them both. Like I really do feel for Jimmy in some ways because I have his jersey and I just really would think it's just tragic at this point. Hold on. Excuse me. Now, following those comments, I just want to marvel at the fact like I'm not a crazy big Miami Heat fan. I never really was. It was because, yeah, sure, the Miami Heat had the big three, the Heatles. It's unfortunate, but yeah, seeing as to where they're going, if they're going really downhill, it's a little tragic because Dwayne Wade, had to leave at one point. He came back and retired there, sure, but it's pretty informative or really hard to tell now. Like, well, not hard to tell. It's really easy to see why Dwayne Wade, other star players have left, or I wouldn't even blame LeBron. Like he went back to Cleveland to win the championship there with them. So there is that. Let's see here though. So for the association tonight, the Heat did not play. They will be playing the Jazz though tomorrow at in Miami at the Kaseya Center. So let's see how it unfolds. It will be obviously without Jimmy, even though he just got back from an injury. But yeah, with a 7 game suspension for him, it is pretty tragic. But yeah, should see how that goes. Let's take a look here now at B games for us. Well, technically yesterday night because it's 12 midnight here. The Hornets lose on the road in the Motor City in Detroit, 98-94. Yeah, the Pistons, they just took a huge blow. I actually wanted to mention this in this next second segment for injuries around the NBA. It is pretty brutal or pretty gruesome to hear, but yeah, when Jaden Ivey went down, it was playing the Magic. Yeah, very unfortunate, very tragic to hear that he suffered a broken tibia in that play. You would think it was probably just something minor, maybe a bruise or something, but no. When the both teams surrounded him, very, very, very depressing to hear that it leads to a broken tibia. And I've never experienced broken bones. Thankfully, I'm very grateful that I've sustained pain. Yeah, but yeah, nothing of a broken bone or injury like that. Speaking of the Magic, they win today in Toronto, taking on the Raptors in Canada, 106-97. A bit of a lower scoring game. You've got the Celtics tonight that I wouldn't say, yeah, I would say that's a pretty much dominant victory, 109-86 in H Town, Houston. The Yeah, the Celtics I think are still the team to beat, but if we're gonna play them Tuesday for the Nuggets, that is, here's hoping that we stand a chance or can just cover against the 3 point shooting and just overall seeing as to yeah, couldn't beat Cleveland, so I think Boston might be the team to beat. The Knicks are on the road taking on Oklahoma City Thunder in the heart of America, 107 to 117, because it's in the middle of nowhere. No offense, but yeah, seriously, the Thunder, yeah, they look good. SGA is doing everything he can. I think OG Ananobi, yeah, ever since the trade with OG from the Raptors to the Knicks, I think he's a perfect fit. But yeah, they're not obviously going to win every single night or by big points like what they did to us. So there is that issue. The Pelicans, 132 to 120, high, bit of a crazy high scoring game for this one in the Crescent City, Nola. Yeah, so CJ McCollum, I actually really do think the Pelicans are better once they're all healthy, but with injuries like Zion and everything, it's just really tragic. CJ had 50 points for CJ McCollum, 2 assists, only 3 rebounds. Deontay Murray had a double double, 12 assists, 11 points. But man, you talk about like just players who can ball out. Yeah, when CJ McCollum gets hot, he gets hot, but he is pretty inconsistent himself. So there's that issue. Let's see. This is a fun one. Cavs versus Mavs. Or I would say. The Cavaliers on the road in Dallas. Evan Mobley had 34 points. He was actually the highest scorer, surprisingly, for Cleveland instead of Donovan Mitchell or Garland. Uh, Thompson had 16 points himself. Quentin Grimes had 26. Yeah, it's unfortunate when you don't have what is it, Kyrie Irving or what's his name, Luka Doncic. But as you can see, injuries, like I have said, sustaining them or even managing them throughout this league, it can be pretty rough, just all things considered. So yeah, here's hoping that the Mavericks get their star players back, but it might make things harder, obviously, for a certain team. Nuggets, yeah. And speaking of the Nuggets, they lose. I kind of saw this happening or just coming because I just know for a fact the Nuggets always do this. They'll lose probably tonight, but on the second night of a back-to-back, which we hopefully will get later today, they'll get it against the San Antonio Spurs. It was 113 to 110 in Ball Arena in Denver, and it sucks, dude. It's so terrible to see how the Nuggets really did fall off, and it's just like you have the lead, you had a chance to ice the game to do everything you could, but just wasn't enough. Jokic had 41 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists, a near triple double, and it feels like such a wasted game. Jamal Murray, he only had 14 points. I wouldn't say the complete worst game, but still not that very efficient or good. MPJ had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Christian Brown had 11 points, decent game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Russell Westbrook, 9, 8, and 6. Overall, a great, not the greatest game, but it was still pretty solid for the most part. But when you get games like this where you're kind of, I wouldn't even just say expected, when you know you could just win this game, ice it, whatever you want to call it, it's unfortunate. And it's just really, really sad that, yeah, they just can't get the job done. And it just shows that I wouldn't even call it lack of discipline. It could be a variety of factors. Could be the fact that they're just miscommunications on defense, of course, is one. The fact that they're not ready or they're just lost that edge ever since never. It's hard for teams to even not just repeat, but to ever get back to the finals. It's that mountain to climb again. So there's that issue. The Grizzlies and Kings, wow, very high scoring game, 133 and 138. The Kings get the win. I actually hear that Fox, if they're actually serious about this Fox and Butler trade to Miami or a swap, like that should be probably something to see. So who knows if they'll actually do it or not. It's just speculation for now, but there might be a huge trade before that February trade deadline. So stay tuned for that. The Hawks take on the Los Angeles Lakers in LA, 102 to 119. LeBron, I actually want to mention this because this, I think I saw in Bleacher Report, they said LeBron just had a big game, but let's take a look at the Hawks first. Zachary Risasher, he had only 7 points. This is pretty, I wouldn't say bad. He's just a rookie and he's still the first pick, but I don't put super crazy high expectations on him. Trey Young had 33. He had 0 rebounds, but he had 9 assists, 33 points. Dyson Daniels with 13, 4, and 3. Onyeka Okongwu off the bench had 11 rebounds. Yeah, 2 assists, 14 points. Pretty solid player overall, in my opinion, for Onyeka. Like, I've heard trade talks for either the Nuggets, the Bucks. Like, so many teams would want that kind of guy on their team. New York, like, there are so many guys who could use Onyeka Okongwu, and he's pretty great. So, LeBron, though, yeah, had 30 points tonight. Pretty great outing for him. Still don't like him. Rui Hashimura had 13 points. Anthony Davis with a big double double, 18 and 19 rebounds, 4 assists. Austin Reeves with 20 points. And, seeing Dorian Finney Smith now with the Lakers, it's interesting because it's just like, wow, never would have expected that kind of trade. Like, yeah, they traded, I think it was the guy who got traded for Dorian Finney Smith on the Nets. Yeah, it ended in tragedy, or D'Angelo Russell. But there was another player involved, and I think it was like Max Lewis. Yeah, Max Lewis. I heard about that. That is so sad, man. He goes down in like the first minute or so of that game, and it's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, when they got Shake Milton and Dorian Finney-Smith, can't do much. Yeah, the Lakers team looks like they're really ready to. Who knows if they're really going to go for the chip or not? But we shall see how that all unfolds because the Nuggets, still have their number, which is always now. So yeah, pretty big games actually upcoming for tomorrow. We got a 5 o'clock game. Okay, so that's good that I get off work early. I get off at 4 p.m. But to cover this game, guys, yeah, just being real when I say this, it is just really, really frustrating to watch. The Nuggets have had plenty of opportunities. They had opportunity as the line. A lot of things could have gone their way differently, but it just sucks. And there's nothing you could do sometimes, especially in defensive lapses like that. But at the same time, it's like, for a fact you could have just flipped the switch or been ready, been more prepared, called better plays, or what is it? Set up a different. They could have called and set up a different play for that and for Jokic instead of getting that pass intercepted at the very end. But the 2-man game, this is why I think it's overrated sometimes because they can read the right through the 2-man game, and it's just like we got to set up some better players. Maybe Christian Brown for an open three because he hits some, and other guys who are like probably clutch like MPJ or whoever can hit a three if needed, like Russ, whoever it is. But yeah, it sucks. We'll get him next time later today, hopefully. Yeah, got quite a few games here on Saturday night, so this should be an interesting one. But with that being said, guys, this is a overview of the exquisite from Mr. Exquisite Nugget to you guys. Happy New Year again. It really is kind of a bit downhill for the league. I'm actually also going to be covering Unrivaled for the women's new basketball league by Nafisa and Brianna, but that won't be for another couple weeks or so. So yeah, we'll stay tuned on that. But everything else said, guys, just leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely have more plans to hopefully collab with different other streamers, podcasters. Hopefully, I want to get Ryan Blackburn to do a show with me or just something where we could record something because I would love to do that. But other than that, guys, it has been a little frustrating to see how the Nuggets just don't look. Not even the Nuggets. A lot of these teams, like for example, let's say, what is it? Boston has kind of looked a little off. They've lost some games here and there. That'll happen though. I mean, even with say teams like Phoenix, Sacramento, who are expected to be, I would say, top tier or beyond. It's just not the way that everybody would think it would go. So yeah, other than that, guys, hope you guys have a great night. This is Exquisite Nugget signing off. And as always, go Nuggets.